Hi, welcome to FreeBSD channel. So just now I was taking some backups in my FreeNAS server. I do take at a regular intervals, perhaps weekly once. Whatever I have it in my system, I take a backup in my FreeNAS server, and maybe a couple of times in a month I will sync it with my my mirror Netgear NAS. So I just noticed, as you can see here, these are my couple of pools of my FreeNAS server. I named it as a big pool and small pool. As of now, both have same storage space. The intent is I upgrade the storage space of this big pool as a priority, and then eventually the small pool. Okay, if at all, I mean to say, if I increase the storage space, I may increase the big pool, and then followed by which I may upgrade the small pool as well. Or maybe if this needs more storage space, I may just start doing over here. Okay, so that's what. So you can see there it shows the status as degraded, and I can see it is actually not listing one of the drives. Okay, you can see there it is showing as unavailable, and you can see the alerts. It says that it is degraded and so and so. See, please note this is my RAID-Z2 pool. Hope you can see there it is shows as a RAID-Z2. So this pool have around 5 drives. And same way, even the small pool is a Z2 pool. If you can see here, you can see there it has totally 5 drives, and since it is a Z2, I can afford losing a couple of drives. Still I should be able to get this ZFS pool mounted successfully. Okay, and I don't have any data loss. Even in this case, I can still afford losing one more drive. Still I should get my data. So by doing that, of course I lose a significant amount of storage quota. Okay, so you can see there, but the problem is, see, when you have an error like this and it is actually not even showing the disk status. And I have just before recording this video, I have just unplugged the SATA port, because if I connect, it is making a clicking noise and it is having an issue with booting as well. So earlier it at least showed this error, but once I rebooted, it stopped even booting. Actually, I just disconnected, so I can just show that shortly. So the problem is, if you go to the storage and disks, as you know, the drive failure can be any reason. It may have some inconsistent read errors, or it can be something like this where the drive no longer comes up and it no longer shows its status active. So which is the case in my situation. Okay, you can see there are totally 9 drives. It is supposed to be 10 drives. You can see there 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and you should find ADA9, which is what is the failed drive. And this is the boot pool. You can see that this is the boot pool. I was having tough time to see which one it actually failed. So which is when since I maintain these hard drives in my local database, I do maintain a small record of this. So what I can do is I can search the serial numbers and I can find out which it is actually missing. So that way you can see there I named some of them as I just marked these drives installed in which system. So you can see there I just marked. I can copy the serial number and I can start searching this way. So when I searched, I found this Toshiba 2 TB drive, which is currently installed in this TITAN-NAS, which is this FreeNAS. It is what is causing the error, and it is failing to turn up. As you see here, when I search, it is no longer going to show. And this drive, this hard drive, I bought it for my Netgear readiness. I no longer need there. Instead, what I thought is I can put it in this big pool, and eventually if I replace each one of this 1 TB drives, I can upgrade its overall storage capacity. So that's the intent. This way you can find out sometimes if it is not listed, it becomes quite tricky, and the only option left is if you have some kind of a track, or I have even pasted serial numbers across the drive. You can also search in that way also. So in my case it is quite clear. You can see there each one of this drive is a 1 TB drive. So it is quite obvious that whatever the 2 TB drive, the only drive 2 TB drive which is not 1 TB in this FreeNAS pool is this Toshiba drive. I wonder why it failed quite prematurely. Although it is a quite old drive, I kind of not so much used. Okay, and moreover, like I mentioned in my old videos, I don't turn my NAS server all the time. Okay, so you can see there totally I have recorded its power on hours is even less than 100. I'm sorry, not days. The power on hours is 1451. So it is a sort of premature failure. So compared to that with other drives, some of them have done even 10,000 hours, 5,000 hours, and so on. So what we can do is I can show you quickly the drive where I put across. So I have thought a couple of things I can attempt in this case is I can replace with a spare 1 TB drive. Perhaps I can shoot a very quick log on the same, or I can purchase alternatively maybe a 2 TB or 3 TB drive, and I can replace that failed 2 TB. But this time I no longer want to buy a Toshiba drive. I may start getting a Western Digital replacement drive. As you can see, this is my server, and this is my boot drive, the USB drive. This one is a Kingston drive, and if I show across, these are those 1 TB Western Digital drives. Hope you can see there. These are all Western Digital blue drives. I'm not much in favor of red drives. I don't see much in my scenario it is going to add any difference. So if you come across, I have even a couple of spare old laptop drives. I'm using them since it is anyway Z2 pool. I can afford losing a couple of drives, and still the pool should be intact. So I was searching where I have actually installed that 2 TB drive, and eventually figured out it's at the topmost one. And you can see there I have removed the SATA port, and I can even do one thing is I can reboot, and I can show you it should make the typical clicking noise, and it should it's a sign that it has failed. Well, I just shut down the server. What we can do is we can quickly connect this SATA port. It's over here. Let me just shine this flashlight. Somehow I can connect this SATA port, and what we can do is we can try booting the system. So I just connected the same. Let me just power on this server, and we can see quickly if yes. So by the way, this is an AMD Ryzen system. You can see there. Okay, so I can show across the screen, and we can see that what exactly it shows. The issue is with this failed drive, it is not booting properly. Okay, so that is why I have disconnected. So let's just wait for a couple of minutes, and after that it should start showing an error. And after just couple of minutes you should also start hearing that signature clicking noise of a failed drive. See, the intent of this video is I do get lot of mails from home users, not from someone who have it in enterprise. So they may be new to NAS, or they may be new to FreeNAS, who knows. So they may have a situation, and they sometimes get panicked if something is not working, and they may ask me how to fix the same. Yeah, luckily this time it is going through. You can see there it is started showing as importing big pool, and hopefully you should see it started making that click, that clicking noise. Yes, so you can see there it's just up over here, and we can check in the UI this time what it shows. Dashboard. Yeah, it shows online. Okay, what happens is it may be a loose connection, I'm not sure, but it is something it has arbitrary fixed. The thing is, I was hearing earlier the typical drive failure noise, making clicking noise, but now it is quite strange. It seems to be working fine. But I keep an eye on this because I have heard a couple of times even before this, it is getting that, clicking noise. I'm not sure whether it is fully fixed or it is going to cause an error once more. Okay, I need to wait and watch. So it's a quite of a, shock that it is, looks like it is working fine. Let me start the screen capture. Yeah, that's a bit of a shock. It seems to be for a while, it is working fine. Maybe it is a loose connection, or maybe it is something arbitrarily it got fixed. I'm not sure, but I was getting the clicking noise, and then I even wiggled the cable and nothing seems to be working. We see if is online experience unrecoverable error. I need to see if how far this is sorted out. Let us go to this pools. So far it is showing as healthy, which means it is fine, but earlier it was showing as degraded and it is making that noise. Okay, let's go here and check the disks. You can see there disk till 0 to 9 it is there, so which means 10 drives. And we should be able to see that Toshiba drive over here. Yes, you can see there it's a 2 TB drive. So 1.82 TB, which is a Toshiba 2 TB hard drive. Okay, so for now it shows it is okay. I have to still see this error. It is shown as 17 AM. It is around 111. If I can dismiss and if I ignore, is it open? Is it going to be still open or not? Okay, I'm not sure. So I need to keep an eye. Okay, I can do one thing. I can just reboot once and then see that if this is fixed as of now. Okay, I'm not still sure. Yeah, sometimes things like this do happen. So if you have any issue, feel free to discuss with me. Even recently I got a mail from a viewer. He's using a Netgear NAS, and suddenly he got a NAS with 6 drives of 3 TB or something like that, but he had an issue. Suddenly the entire the RAID volume is not coming up and it is completely vanished or something. So I was discussing with him that if we have any spare Linux system, perhaps he can create he can mount this RAID volume. So that is one option is there. Same way in case of FreeNAS, so there is nothing to panic. You can anyway take these drives and put in any system and see if you can get it back, because one advantage with FreeNAS versus ButterFS is in the case of ButterFS you need to worry about the order of the drives and all that, but in the case of FreeNAS you can take it out and put it in any motherboard, and even more interesting thing is, if you have any Ubuntu server, you have a ZFS and stuff like that enabled, like Ubuntu server has that feature, and then you can even import this ZFS pool into that as well. Okay, you don't need FreeNAS only, so even that you can attempt, but I suggest you can refrain, because we never know what the version of OpenZFS have been incorporated with the fixes and updates in the FreeNAS versus in Ubuntu server as a part of the transition towards the Linux kernel. See, there's a discussion happening, and maybe eventually they are going to include the ZFS within the Linux mainline kernel source. Okay, so we are not sure. So you can see there, so far it is fine. I'm quite shocked. It's quite annoying, because I was taking some backups and I was seeing that error, and I'm not sure which drive it failed as well. I did a mistake. I must have taken a screenshot so that we can analyze. Okay, it was showing some volume ID or something, but not the drive letter. Okay, so let me quickly reboot and see if it is going to be stable or not. Okay, see, such things are quite common even if you have a good server build, not like mine. This case is a PC case. If you have a proper hot swap case and stuff like that, still it may be an issue with loose contacts, or since it's a mechanical drive, we will never know. The issue can be arbitrary, and it may start working. Even once it happened with one of my drives as well. See, this is a very, very old drive. This is a 320 GB Western Digital passport external hard drive. At one point of time I have removed it completely out, and then I was using it for some backups and stuff, and then suddenly it stopped working, and it used to make that clicking noise, and then I don't know, I thought it is completely expired. I kept it aside for more than a year, and then reassembled it, and miraculously it started working again. So I'm not sure. Okay, so let's see if this problem still persists or it is gone away. Okay, so let me see. It takes some time to boot, because the BIOS, it takes quite a while. See, feel free if you have any issues like this. Feel free. It is these are things discussed always as a community. I do discuss with FreeNAS discussion forums, and if it is a case of Netgear, I do discuss with those folks as well, and a couple of guys from Netgear also, often I see them helping. Okay, and sometimes if I do any vlogs or something, I do post over there, so they really appreciate me contributing towards the same. And the same thing with the case of FreeNAS as well. I'm in touch with IX Systems and Chris as well, and other couple of folks. Okay, so if I can't able to address, at least I can pass it on to them personally, or maybe I can point you guys towards any discussion post which matches your criteria. Okay, yeah, see there, it is up. Again, it shows online, so looks like as of now it is working fine. I'm not really sure, it may be a loose cable, or who knows actually. I have pulled a couple of times and put a couple of times, but it is still making that noise, but I'm not sure why it is started working back again. Like I said, this drive is not much used comparatively the other drives, and this is a typical desktop drive. I don't see any point why it should fail, because I'm not used, none of my NAS systems powered on for more than few hours. There are very few exceptions. If I do some resilvering or something, I have turned up for maybe some couple of days or something, but otherwise it is not. Okay, so hope this video is interesting. It is not something turned the way I expected. I thought it is a case of classic failed drive, but I'm not really sure why it started working. So if you have anything to discuss, like I said, be in touch via comments, or you can discuss with me directly in email as well. Okay, thanks a lot for joining me. Stay tuned. Have a nice day. Bye bye.